The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Very good morning to all attendees. This is Jack here, ProSoft Technology Group. Thanks for joining in. We'll have another few more seconds, to have the rest of the team also to join in. So please be with us. Thank you. Okay, let's start the session. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jack here once again. I'm from ProSoft Technology Group. Before we start this webinar, I request everyone to keep your phones on mute, please. We have also reserved a 10-minute slot at the end of this webinar for a question and answers. So you can raise your questions there. If you have any questions during the session, please punch it on the questions tab. If you can see it on the right side or maybe on the bottom of the screen. Our speaker Sajid will present them at the end of the presentation. So to just give you a little bit of inputs about what ProSoft is on the highlights portion, we are headquartered in Donos Grove, Illinois, and we have development center support offices across India, US, as well as in Canada, with more than 350 people, from the management consulting and technical development experience. So, ProSoft core areas of practice is into business process management, business integration, as well as we support and also do staff supplementation. We are not just a body shop or a staffing company. What that means is we also do several implementation, upgrade, models as well. So apart from IBM, we also have a huge practice from the SAP as well as from the web methods as well. So this is a little introduction about what ProSoft is. With this, I'm going to pass down the control to Mohammad, who is going to coach you to today's presentation. Mohammad, can you take out from here?
Sure. Welcome and good morning, everyone. My name is Mohammad Elmardini. I'm a senior consultant with ProSoft. I have broad experience in designing and implementing SOA and Gateway enterprise solutions, and I've helped many clients in different industries to deliver solutions in the BPM and the SOA space, leveraging specifically IBM WebSphere, specifically running on IBM WebSphere platform. I'm very excited today to present for you the managed file transfer solution as exposed by WebSphere MQ File Transfer Edition. So it's WebSphere MQ-MFT or aka FTE File Transfer Edition. So this is our agenda for today. Basically, I'll be covering or dividing this presentation into two main large topics. The first one is the robust features of WebSphere MQ managed file transfer, such as reliability, auditing, and security. The second topic is regarding specific use cases with complex that has complex scenarios, such as FIFO pattern, first in, first out, for file transfer sequencing, and how it could be implemented, how we can implement that specific use case using MFT solution as provided by WebSphere MQ. I'll save a room at the end for a QA session, and we'll give you the opportunity to address your concerns and answers any questions you might have. So first let us define MFT. MFT stands for Managed File Transfer. It's a managed, secure, auditable file transfer. You can achieve the file transfer within the same network of your enterprise or across different networks. In the case, for example, where you have a B2B business to business or across your partners, your different partners. Managed file transfer addresses and solves all issues related to basic FTP, such as reliability, security, and auditing. The strength of MFT is that it fulfills all business requirements and addresses other or various technical challenges that simple or mere FTP cannot handle. All that is within a consistent and centralized framework, as we'll see shortly. So after defining MFT, I'm going to talk briefly about the benefits or promise that MFT can bring to your business and why you need it. I have listed below short bullet points. So I'm reading the benefits as is. It improves the corporate governance and processes. It improves overall corporate compliance, traceability, and auditability. It provides the centralized administration for all FTE operations and activities. It provides secure, reliable, and guaranteed delivery for all types of files and data transfers. Reduces integration costs and save you money because you are leveraging your same WebSphere MQ network or your same WebSphere MQ it runs on your same WebSphere MQ infrastructure. And last, it has no restriction on or limitation on file size. Now we're going to talk about the main or general features of WebSphere MQ managed file transfer. I'm going to start first by listing the general features, and then after that we can take the core features and address them individually one by one. So first, starting with auditability or auditing, whatever you want to call it, provides logging and audit capability for all your FTE operations. And not only that, you can also persist it against a database source for future archive and future auditing. Reliability, and that's of course happening because it runs on your same WebSphere MQ infrastructure, so it exploits the reliability that comes with WebSphere MQ. Security protects file data in transit using SSL, and also provides you with end-to-end encryption. That's something that cannot be provided with simple FTP. Automation provides scheduling and file watching or monitoring. There are multiple ways to configure and achieve automation. We will talk about it further in the file transfer process slide later on. Scheduling and triggering, for example, are two different flavors of automation that we will address separately later on. Centralization provides centralized monitoring and deployment for FTE activities. I'm talking here about MQ Explorer, where you can initiate all the different FTE commands, and also you have a single point of view or access for all your logs and activity monitoring as well. We've already also addressed in the previous slide, like, any file size. It doesn't matter your file size. Could be like a number of bytes or up to a terabyte or even more. Integration also, that's one of the main feature of using the managed file transfer solution exposed by WebSphere MQ, because it runs on the WebSphere platform, so it can integrate seamlessly with any product from the WebSphere family. Specifically, I'm talking about WebSphere Message Broker, WebSphere DataPower, also WebSphere Service Registry and Repository, Connect Direct, and many others. It's cost effective because you are using your same WebSphere MQ infrastructure, and last but not least, it can handle any type, I mean, no matter how complex your use case or your scenario, with some minor customization, you can achieve any and implement any complex use case. So we've addressed we've talked about the. I can hear some background music, and I would appreciate if you guys can mute your devices. Jack? Yeah, I think one of the attendees, put us on hold, and we apologize for the background noise or music. I think that's played with someone from his phone.
Yeah, somebody has put on.
Somebody has accepted another call maybe or something. But yeah, anyway, I'll keep proceeding with the presentation if you can hear me. So we've addressed the previously in the previous slide, we've addressed the general features, and now I'm gonna discuss three main features, or I would like to call them core features of MFT. The first one is reliability. So WebSphere MQ-MFT or FTE, it's a very reliable product. It provides reliability in file delivery from any source to any destination, whether it's within your same network or across networks to your partners or from a business to business. And it ensures file delivery with error-free and uncorrupted files at destination. That's something that you cannot achieve normally with FTP. One of the drawbacks of using using a simple FTP or basic FTP, let's say if anything happened during your file transfer, it doesn't have a recovery checkpoint. So you might have you will have at the destination a corrupted file, a partially transferred file. While in the case of using MFT, it's a guaranteed that delivery. Either you get the entire file delivered successfully, or you won't get anything, and it gives you the ability using checkpoint to reinitiate the transfer process. And that all that feature, of course, it's already a built-in feature within WebSphere MQ. It uses checkpoint restart capability, and this is exploits solid and built-in reliability of WebSphere. WebSphere MQ 7.5. Checkpoint is nothing but a point in time. The record described in the log is the same as the record in the queue. You can use checkpoints to make recovery more efficiently and to control the reuse of primary and secondary log files. The second core feature I want to discuss is auditability. So WebSphere MQ, one thing I wanna, we can maybe I'll save the answering in details the difference between FTE and MFT at the end, but I think I've already addressed that at the beginning of my presentation. That for the most part, you can use the MFT, which is managed file transfer, or FTE, which is file transfer addition, interchangeably for the most part. There's some slight variation IBM used for marketing, but we'll save that at the end if anyone is further interested in knowing that the slight differences between when to use MFT versus FTE. But for the most part, you could use both of these terms interchangeably. So WebSphere MQ FTE has built-in features where you can keep all your logs centrally. And you can monitor. And you can monitor them. You can do any kind of traceability between these logs. As you can see here, this screenshot is from MQ Explorer. You can log various transfer activities, and these are a few examples. For example, some of the typical logs that are generated during a file transfer: when is the file is created, when it's moved or opened, who own it, and there's also some other metadata information about the source and destination of the file. And of course, most importantly, whether the transfer was successful or not. Last but not least, the third core features I'm going to talk about is security. For most businesses, the secure FTP is a major area of concern. There are multiple vulnerabilities over public networks when you use normal FTP. FTP has very limited security. I mean, unless you are using secure FTP, it cannot guarantee that the file was transferred without any interception during routing, and also it doesn't guarantee if the file was untampered or not. While the WebSphere MQ FTE ensures that it ensures security from end to end, all the way through the entire process, and all that is provided. I mean, this security feature is already inbuilt within WebSphere MQ. It provides data integrity, authentication, authorization, and non-repudiation. Not only that, beside the built-in features that you can leverage in WebSphere MQ, you can also add additional custom security by using exits and other custom programs or custom routines, if you know how to use them. We've already mentioned that WebSphere MQ FTE has, all these features are already built in to protect the files and the file systems. So this slide is just like stressing, listing additional security features, but it's stressing the same thing again. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the file transfer process. So there are two ways where you can achieve file transfer with MFT. Either you can do it manually as a one-time process, or you can leverage the automation, the full automation capability provided by MFT. So to leverage automation, there are two different ways where you can achieve that also. Either you can use scheduling, and that doesn't have there's no intelligence in that. Normally you do scheduling in the case of batch file transfer, let's say at midnight or every 6 hours. You can program it to transfer one time a batch, all your files from source A to the destination B, for example. What makes MFT more unique is, when it comes to automation, is not only using scheduling, but something called triggering. Triggering a file transfer can be set at the time of creating a new monitor or later on. You can set different trigger conditions on a file transfer, and once these trigger conditions are true, the transfer will take place. I've already mentioned that also triggered file transfer is completely different than scheduled file transfer. Scheduled file transfer is used more in the batch mode, while triggered file transfer, it has more intelligence into it, where you can specify your conditions on your specific files. And this type of file transfer begins only based upon a trigger condition, and only when that trigger condition is met. You can also set different triggering conditions, and later on, when we take the complex file transfer, specifically FIFO, I'm gonna show you what are the different triggering conditions you can have on a specific file. In this slide, I'm talking about the complex file transfer, different use cases. The complex scenario could be sometimes in the topology itself. You could have a simple topology, the same network, there's no clustering involved, or you could have a very sophisticated topology, a business to business or business across different partners, and you have a gateway in the middle. You have multiple clusters, and so it could get pretty complicated. I mean, if the topologies get complicated, but no matter how big or sophisticated the topology you have, WebSphere MQ-MFT should be able to handle it. The other use cases is FIFO, first in, first out, for file sequencing, and I'm going to discuss that later on in details in the next slide. Also, other complex use case you could have when you want to combine or integrate your WebSphere MQ managed your managed file transfer solution with your ESB infrastructure, let's say. I mean, whether it's a message broker or DataPower or whatever you have it. Now, in order to fulfill all these different business requirements that have the complex one, you need to do some customization, and there are different ways to implement that and customize it. Either you could use user exits at the end. You could use different calls. You could use AND-scripting, if you know how to use AND-scripting. And there are also other flavors for different programmers. Okay. So in the last two slides, I'm going to address specifically the FIFO sequencing. And also we can also address the triggering capability and automation provided by WebSphere MQ-MFT. So let's take, for example, a situation where we have a source folder or directory, and continuously you have files written into it from different places, and you have specific business requirement where you need to transfer and deliver these files written to this source folder to a destination folder in the same order that files arrive to the source folder. Now, how can we achieve that using WebSphere MQ FTE with some customization? The WebSphere MQ FTE solution provide and deliver. We can implement that using the FIFO paradigm by combining the built-in features that comes there, such as that comes with for example, the schedule transfer and the trigger transfer. But we need to also use some custom application, for example, AND-scripting. The built-in monitoring capability that comes with FTE, it provides the resource monitoring on three different triggering conditions only, the built-in. The first one is matching on the file name pattern itself. The second triggering condition is when you are not matching on specific file name. So you want to say, for example, I want to transfer all these files that their file name doesn't match that specific file name. And the third triggering condition is based on the file size. None of these three triggering conditions that are built in provides would help me by itself alone to fulfill the FIFO, because FIFO is based on a file timestamp, and I cannot use the built-in features with FTE to do triggering condition based on file stamp, because all what I have is, two of them match on the file name and one of them match on the file size. So in order to fulfill the FIFO requirement, a file stamp trigger must be monitored. And because that's not provided by default as a built-in, one way to achieve that is to use AND-script. Using AND-script, you can initiate a transfer request command on each file by the order of the oldest timestamp. The next slide is going to show you the event sequence or the diagram, how that could happen. So I'm having at the source folder, I have my agent, and I have an AND-script running, and that AND-script is the one that's giving me the extra intelligence to find out the timestamp. Based on the timestamp that the AND-script will be able to identify, it'll take the oldest file with the oldest timestamp, and it will issue a command, an FTE command called FTE/column file copy. It will send that to the command queue manager, and the command queue manager will be able to take that file will communicate with the source agent. It'll take that file and it'll transfer it across the network to the destination site. So, in this example is showing us how can you implement FIFO using some of the built-in features provided by the WebSphere WMQ FTE, and also some customization using Anscript. At the very end, there are 7 key points I would like you to remember from this presentation, and which is the promise that WebSphere WMQ-MFT provides. At first thing, the MFT is the future that's going to replace FTP, and IBM MQ product is already playing a major role in this regard. It's competitively, it's one of the top leaders handling complex MFT operations, as we saw. The good thing also, you are leveraging your same infrastructure for WebSphere MQ. So you are, your investment, you are saving money. And you are cutting costs, of course, because you are leveraging the same infrastructure. We've already also discussed the 4th point, the strong core features of WebSphere MQ, which are again the reliability, auditability, and security. Complexity, it can cover any complex use case, whether the topology itself is complex from a network to a network across different partners, or if the file transfer scenario itself is complex, in the case of FIFO, as we saw previously. ProSoft has resources and expertise to help you to handle complex FT patterns in your business by tailoring solution to your business need. We have that expertise. And last, portability. The IBM provide the MFT solution. It runs on most of the hardware and operating system, including mainframe. Therefore, you can effectively perform any-to-any inter and intra-enterprise FT operations. And we've reached the end of our presentation. That's all what I have for today. It's your turn if you have any specific questions. And Jack, should I pass the control to you?
Yes, please. Or you can just have the last slide, which shows, my email address. Yeah, I think we are good to go with this. There's no point now to present or to make me a presenter. But I just wanted to thank you, Mohammed, for your precious time walking us through this nice presentation you prepared for us. Now we have few questions lined up, but let's give 1 more minute of time. Maybe attendees would like to list their questions here. But before that, I would also like to mention that to all the attendees who would like to have these presentation, you're welcome to email me. It's jack@prosoftgroup.com. You can see on the site. It's jack@prosoftgroup.com once again, and you're please welcome to email me. I'll be happy more enough to send the presentation across to you all. Already, and yes, we have few questions lined up already, and I think let's have Sajid on the call. Sajid, we have few questions for you if you're ready. The very first question we have from Jeff is that how WMQ-MFT support clustering?
Thank you, Jake, and I'm also thanks to our audience and specifically for this their time and interest in our webinar. Definitely, WMQ-MFT address the clustering issue, and this is because when we are saying that the process is very reliable. So one of the reasons it's reliable is that the WMQ-FT supports the clustering. Now the clustering is basically from the MQ-FT inherent built-in features, and there may be 2 ways in which we can, for example, create the MQ clusters. They can be in the form of groups, and in case one fails, the other can take over. Or it can be in the form of a hardware clustering, where we can provide the backup disks or hardware. So in that case, there's also, and this is actually the clustering or the reliability, we can take it from 2 aspects. So the one is from the availability point of view, and the other way is from the transferring from end to end. So availability is basically, clustering is one of the ways in which we improve the availability and also the reliability. So these are two ways, through the hardware and through creating instances of the MQ in the WMQ, which is a kind of inherent feature in the WMQ.
Sure.
So,
From the same person again, would like to know, how can I transfer a file of a 50 GB in a very short period of time?
okay, so that's a good question. I believe this is related with our big data issue. WMQ-MFT has the capability to transfer the files, and one of the claims for the MFT product is that there is no limit. Virtually, there is no limit on the size of the file. But still, depending upon your bandwidth, network bandwidth, and the protocol which we use for transferring of the files, it has a kind of still some bottlenecks. But IBM provides another tool which is known as the Aspera. And Aspera is basically the tool which is independent of your distances, independent of your file size, and independent of any type of the other restriction which are commonly in the file transfer operations. So you can definitely virtually send any size of the file in very short period of time and across the globe. I mean, intercontinental transfer, for example, you can send anything from USA to the South Asia or maybe any continental, and in very short period of time. And mostly this capability in the Aspera is built-in, and that's based upon their FAST protocol. That's a universal data transfer protocol, FAST3, and that's one of the protocol which is a kind of different approach which is normally used in other file transfer products. So this is very unique to the Aspera. So we would recommend that if the file is really very big size, like the 100 gigabyte, and it's a kind of the media or maybe scientific data or maybe satellite images or anything else. So in that case, the Aspera may be another option. They can use it. But MFT has the capability. They can be also utilized in this regard.
Sure. Thank you. So this is from Kalyana Raman. His question is, are you planning to discuss about using multi-channel in FTE? We recently ran into file contention issue. We recently ran into file contention issue. FTE was transferring the file and our WMB tried to pick up the file and process it. We did work around in WMB by including exclusions in the pattern matching.
Okay, I think this seems to be kind of a specific problem. If they are interested in to discuss in more detail, we can do it offline. But just a kind of a high-level answer to this question is that you can customize your, the functionality and the behavior in MFT through using various type of the, as earlier my other the colleague mentioned about that, you have the exits and you have the add scripts. So there are a variety of ways on different points, exit points, you can customize this behavior. Now regarding the channel, I think we can discuss it offline, and this may need maybe a little bit more in-depth insight of that real problem. So.
Sure. So we welcome Kalyana Raman. If you could just send us an email with some slots available, maybe we can take out from here.
Yeah, there's
of course. Another question. Yes, thank you. And there's another question which asks you, is the receiver of the message another MQ instance?
The receiver of the, actually there are two ways. I mean, we can, because depend upon the licensing issue and the cost which is involved. So we have the servers and we have the clients as well. So you can deploy or install your other server on the receiver side, or you can just have the client as well. But definitely you need an agent on the other side, receiving agent, MQ agent over there. So we need the communication between the sending agent and the receiver agent. So definitely you need that.
Sure. So one more, what are the other products in IBM MFT portfolio, and how MQFT is related to those?
That's also a common question. I mean, the IBM provides a complete portfolio and the suite of the products which deal with this managed file transfer. Obviously, it's not a situation where you can say one size fits all. So they have different use cases, different degree of complexity in various business requirements. So different products address different type of the use cases. But the more prominent products, which one I mentioned earlier, for example, the Aspera is one of them, which is specifically designed and used for very high data transfer and on very high speed, and specifically for the media files. The other product is, I mean, we have already discussed. MFT is one of the another lead product in the file transfers, and IBM Sterling Connect Direct is another product in this portfolio. IBM Sterling Control Center is another product in this portfolio, and again in the same vein, File Gateway and Secure Proxy are two more products in that. But we would like to suggest that if you, for example, there is another advanced MQ version which is now IBM is I mean recommending that we should buy it. So that product has all these things packaged in one product. So buying one license, you can have the entitlement to one of these products. So you can use the various benefits each product has, and you can customize it, and you have the entitlement to all of them. But definitely there is an option. If you want to use it, you can use it. If you don't want, you can still use the WMQ MFT. And that's everything is now built in the advanced WMQ.
Yeah, that's nice. So before we wrap up, one last question I see here from Ted. Can you encrypt, what is this? Can you encrypt and decrypt files in WMQ MFT before sending and at the destination?
Of course, we can encrypt at the sending agent step, and of course, I mean before sending the file, and then we can decrypt it once the file has been successfully received at the other end, on the receiving end. One of the ways, as I mentioned earlier, is the exits. We can use specific security exits, which mean to customize this kind of the behavior. And the other important feature of the WMQ has the advanced security. So it has the capability to encrypt and decrypt the file. So yes, definitely you can do that.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sajid. I think we are done with the Q&A session now, and I once again thank everyone who attended this. And again, please welcome to email me, jack@prosoftgroup.com, to have any queries you might have to answer from ProSoft Architects team. And with this, let's close the presentation, and you guys all have a great day. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.